Welcome to some One Piece action. If you're new to the channel, please give us a subscribe. And if you're a returning viewer and have not subscribed yet, please give us a subscribe. Definitely helps the channel grow. Alright, please hit that subscribe button. Okay, so this leader is the most confusing leader. Just why and how are you the way you are? I don't want to call you bad. I don't want to call you difficult. But I just don't know what to call you. It is crazy. You would imagine a leader ability that just gives you Dawn when characters get KO'd would be easy money, right? Especially since that's just a regular mechanic. But I don't know whether it's the Dawn X that makes it too complicated or the lack of good quality board removal for purple. I think when this leader first came out, the ideology was we're going to use the consistency of blue to help the purple, right? Because the cards that blue had to help with like generic overall consistency is things like Perona. Anything that just said, I'm going to look at the top 5 and do whatever I want, right? Okay, cool. But purple was definitely lacking. I ain't gonna lie to you. There was nothing really special about purple. You know, there wasn't enough good quality KO. The meta was never in the right place. Like, King got phased out because of people playing on curve and just immediately became irrelevant. Which, you know, back then they expected people to play more low drops, you know, low drop blockers, low drop characters, so you can just go wide and swing. And that wasn't happening. So both King, the 6 and the 7 drop, just was like irrelevant. And it was like, okay, well, the only good quality is the 9 drop Kaido. Not only you had to make sure you drew him, you had to also hope your opponent had a target on the board because it only can hit a 6. You know, but for what it does, respectfully, KO and rush, it's hard to say that character should have been able to remove a higher target, but it technically needed to remove a higher target so it can be a more relevant card. This Buggy's doing a lot of things. So where my mind was with this leader was that, hey, it seems like the best way to get that KOing happening is just attacking. What if this leader is just technically more about fighting your opponent? So Straw Hats, they're just all over the place, right? It is their show, their game. You know, the Straw Hats have a lot of good purple cards that, in my personal opinion, are more on the attacking side of the spectrum, right? So where they lack the pump and board removal, they make up for with just good quality attack power, some double summoning, and just some offensive, you know, that's some Luffy noises. So yeah, we're like, okay, that's what we're doing. So of course, 7 drop Luffy to get some double summons to put more characters on the board. You got that rush Luffy. The fun part about that rush Luffy is that if you have Onigashima and you have your leader ability engaged, you can more than likely get both your Dawn back. Sanji Puddin is a double summon target with Luffy, as well as helps you with ramp situations. So there's that. We didn't get Onigashima. We chose not to play Straw Hat search cards because we wanted to not whiff on Onigashima because it's still technically important. It's a good card, right? Like, you can catch it on curve. It just does a lot for the game. So with that being said, yeah, Perona is like our search card, and I think we play something else. Oh yeah, we got some Zoro Joros just in case we don't catch. But you know, anybody brave enough, of course, you can always flip the list around and play some searching if you feel like you don't really need Onigashima. But yes, this Luffy right here, this Luffy can take advantage of Kaido's leader ability and Onigashima, so you could just even out. And yeah, I think it works. But it's just a good card. It's a good, strong card in itself. Okay, got that W. But yeah, it's still been a chore nonetheless. to work this leader. And every leader is always about, what the heck is that? This app be apping. And I felt like I haven't said that in a while, but the app be apping. Like, what the heck? Okay then, well, it is what it is. We gotta make the most of it. So, where am I? Yeah. It's a bit of a chore. So hopefully before this leader gets phased out, we get to see some good quality purple board removal that can allow this leader to see some play. Because at the moment it's just weak. Oh yeah, we use that it's the 2-drop event that KOs the 6k power. So with Onigashima plus leader ability, you just refund that card completely. So it becomes a pretty high value. And worst case scenario, if you don't have Onigashima, you still got the leader ability. Now, in essence, to execute the play, you need 3 Dons. So that might feel annoying, but once you pull, Don X, the leader, play the card, tap 2, remove 2, you get the 1 active Don back. That overall value is really high. So you can, it's worth doing. You take a 6k off the board, that's going to be a 4 or 5 drop. And if it's higher than a 5 drop, then that's like, oh, that was a character with a strong ability. Wow, they really did that to us, Orojoro. They're like, no ramp for you. But anyway, I'm surprised we didn't just play the Onigashima. Well, now we are, but I felt like it would have been better to play that first. You know what? Maybe you can debate the fact of board presence. Board presence is very important, so I can see it in that context. But yeah, this leader is just difficult because it's weird. Along with the lack of good quality board removal for this leader to function, and the fact that the blue side doesn't have the KOing to execute this leader's ability, it just has return / bottom decking, bounce and bottom deck. That's what the blue side has. So you're dependent on the purple side, and the purple side is a bit of a struggle to find the worthwhile board removal, the KO options. But I say all that to go into drawing it when you need it. So even looking at not a 9-drop Kaido, it's like, oh my god, if I don't get this at the right point in time, especially with the right board setup, you definitely want to Onigashima and your leader ability just ready. You want to be 10 Don, and then you hope that they have a target. It gets annoying, and I understand the struggles behind this leader, but that's enough of putting this leader down, right? That's enough. We're here to get the most out of these leaders. So yes, I'm like, the Straw Hats are gonna get the most out of it because they have very minimal Don removal, right? And they all about punching you in your face. So whether you need to attack their board or whatever, it's gonna be easier on your digestive system, right? Because I think about it, if I don't have Onigashima, I'm not necessarily screwed, because I'm not really destroying my Don count, like, attempting to play a 9-drop Kaido or even a 10-drop Kaido or, whatever other cards, right? I'm not destroying my Don count. Oh, they got rid of our Sanji. Yeah, so I'm not destroying my Don count, and I'm just going to start swinging on them. And if I'm swinging on them and I just so happen to get a character off the board, guess what? I'm getting an active Don. And that can actually just outright ramp you. If you didn't Don minus that turn and you punch their searcher, well, guess what? Now you just went up a Don, and that's glorious. See, so we got what we want in this scenario. If they block, they run the risk of ramping us. And of course, we still got the Onigashima. I mean, they got plenty of cards in their hand. I could see them, countering out. Yep. To make sure we don't get one of our Dons back active. But the fun part about that, Luffy, is guess what? We can just attack again. Okay, so I respect going for lead. They are down to 2 life. Oh, they named Hook. I was going to say, they are down to 2 life. Okay, yeah. Just ignore it. Blockers can't attack unless they're going for game. Blockers can't attack. Oh, God, that's disgusting. That hand is Brick City. We're trying to rebuild the streets of Chicago with that hand. That's crazy. I don't know. Yeah, blockers, if they can't go for game, then they can't attack. Once they're in that certain board state, it's like, yeah, you're not going to swing. So sometimes you got to recognize when it's just worth putting all the pressure and they're just ignoring the board. So that was a good play. So yeah, softer on the palate when it comes to the Don consumption and aggressive attacking. So like right now, just let's just say they chose to block, which I wouldn't do. They're going to ramp us. And then we played a Sanji who did not eat our Don. So it just works. That's the favor that it works. Oh, Tashigi hits the board. And that's kind of funny because it's relatively beneficial that we could just keep swinging. Probably could just pop Tashigi, but oh, no. He only protects rested characters, right? So yeah, this is gonna go through. Yup. Got to see that. Get the active Don. Get the ramp. That card was virtually cost 0. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? A 2 Don event card, right? Just being 0. You know, right? Or if anything, I should say 0 in the Don minus context, but it's like it like low key turned into tap 1 Don, remove a 6K. Yeah, that's the benefit of the Nami. If we get extra Onigashimas, kind of just like Queen, but Nami goes here, we'll just put it at the bottom of the deck. And in this game, bottom decking something is like taking it out the game completely. They don't really have. There's like 1 card, no 2, 3. No, yeah, 2. I'm gonna go back to 2. There's like 2 cards in this game that shuffle your deck. One is not Who's Who, right? I think it's Sasaki. The blue Sasaki. I think. Yeah, the 2K counter. And then the other is Orochi. 1 drop 2K counter that searches for the Smile Fruit card. I think those are the only 2 cards in the game that, oh no, there's an event that allows you to basically mulligan. That's right, there's an event out there. So there's 3 cards. So yeah, anyway, going back to my original point, once you bottom deck a card, once you bottom deck something in this game, it's almost like it's gone forever. So yeah, so you could almost argue that the Nami is better than the Queen. Draw 3, bottom deck 2, rather than Don minus 1, draw 2, discard 1. Oh, we lost our Luffy. They attack, and counter out because we just used the Perona, so why not? I think we technically play a 10 drop Kaido. Can't quite remember. I ain't gonna lie, going through all these leaders, man. Going through all these leaders, it's hard to remember exactly what I've done in terms of these deck lists. But yeah, this build is flowing pretty well, but it's like a safety, straightforward build. I ain't gonna lie. And what I mean by that is, like, I think Straw Hats are like kind of like the Ryu in this game. You know, Ryu's the default balanced character, so everybody can pick up fundamentals, should be able to hold his own for the most part in whatever matchups. So I think that's what the Straw Hats provide. So, you know, it doesn't put the deck in the position that, you know, we would want to see it in, which is like, I would imagine some nice chaotic board removing and stuff like that. I think that's what people really want to see when they see blue purple Kaido. But nonetheless, I think it does allow for a very aggressive build. So you see this? Our board state looks great. And we just swinging on them. Just swing, swing, and swing. Oh, they froze our Luffy. This build might get like better in my opinion. Like if they aren't afraid to give purple some nicer board removal, then I can imagine this build being, because this build is already solid with the offense. You know what I'm saying? So if there's like one more good board removal card in my imagination, because I'm liking the 2-drop board removing thing, the 6K thing. But if there's like come out with like one more nice respectable one, then yeah, I could see this build doing a lot better. Because it'll be an easy, convenient access to leader ability. That Sanji is great. I like that Sanji, that draw Sanji. It's just a good quality card. Swing, draw, 6K power. Makes it a little easier to protect than the average character. Oh, we're going for it. 10K swing. Let me see what you got in your hand. Well, G.